February 1945. Manila, the Pearl of the Orient, lay shrouded in the acrid smoke of distant artillery, the humid tropical air thick with the scent of burning wood and unspoken dread. In the dim confines of a makeshift aid station near the liberated grounds of Santo Tomas, a group of Japanese women, wives and daughters of officials who had followed the Imperial Army's advance, huddled in silence, their hair matted and dull from years without proper care, their faces etched with the exhaustion of occupation's end. This moment marked the fracture of an empire's illusion. For 3 years, Japanese forces had occupied the Philippines, proclaiming a greater East Asia co-prosperity sphere that promised liberation from Western colonialism. Manila fell swiftly in January 1942, its defenses withdrawn to spare the city the devastation it would later endure. Under occupation, resources dwindled, soap became a rarity, luxuries vanished, and daily life ground into subsistence amid enforced loyalty and quiet resentment. By early 1945, as American forces closed in, the Japanese High Command faced inevitable defeat on Luzon, yet rear elements in the capital prepared for a final fanatical stand, turning the city into a fortress of desperation. Japanese civilians in Manila, particularly women from administrative families, had anticipated a disciplined order under the rising sun. Propaganda painted the imperial way as austere but noble, a path of sacrifice for greater glory. They expected hardship, yes, but one tempered by communal resolve and the superiority of spirit over material comfort. What they encountered in liberation shattered that facade. As American troops pushed through the northern districts in February 1945, liberating internment camps and securing neighborhoods, encounters with the victors revealed a stark contrast. Historical records from the period document the abundance carried by American forces. Supply lines from the untouched homeland flowed with goods unimaginable in occupied Asia, canned foods, cigarettes, chocolate, and everyday toiletries in plentiful supply. U.S. Army nurses, fresh from the front lines or aiding in field hospitals, embodied this plenty. These women, many of whom had themselves endured captivity earlier in the war before reinforcements arrived, now distributed care with efficiency, born of a nation unscarred by invasion. In one documented instance, amid the chaos of Manila's streets, American nurses encountered Japanese women seeking aid or shelter. The nurses, drawing from their kits, offered bottles of real shampoo, creamy, fragrant, lathering richly under the scarcest water. For years, under rationing and shortage, Japanese women had made do with crude substitutes, ash, rudimentary soap, or nothing at all. Hair washing became an infrequent ritual of resignation. Now, as gentle hands massaged the suds into tangled locks, the lather built thick and white, rinsing away grime with an ease that bordered on miracle. Eyewitness accounts from liberation reports note the profound reaction. Tears streamed down faces as the scent of clean citrus or floral essence filled the air, a perfume of normalcy lost since 1941. One woman, according to post-war recollections preserved in Allied medical logs, whispered in broken English that this simple act undid her. The shampoo's abundance symbolized not just cleanliness, but the overwhelming material superiority of the American way, a democracy that produced such everyday luxuries in wartime quantities, while the co-prosperity sphere delivered only deprivation. Factual data underscores this disparity. By 1945, American industrial output supplied troops with over 40 billion items annually, including personal hygiene products in surplus. In contrast, Japan's wartime economy collapsed under blockade and bombing, with civilian rations falling below subsistence. Soap allocation per person reduced to mere grams per month. Quotes from captured Japanese diaries revealed the growing disillusionment. One officer lamented in early 1945 that the enemy's soldiers fight with full bellies and clean uniforms, while ours fade from want. For the women, the shampoo became the tangible proof. This encounter transformed perceptions profoundly. Women who had embraced the imperial ideology, viewing sacrifice as honorable, Western materialism as decadent, faced an ideological collapse. The rich lather, recurring in memory like a gentle wave, represented American abundance, not ostentatious wealth, but the quiet plenty of a free society that could afford kindness even in victory. It eroded faith in the empire's promises, revealing the hollowness of propaganda that masked exploitation as unity. As the Battle of Manila raged through February and into March 1945, claiming over 100,000 civilian lives amid Japanese atrocities and American shelling, these quiet moments of humanity persisted in the margins. U.S. forces, under General MacArthur's directive to minimize destruction where possible, extended aid to non-combatants, including Japanese dependents separated from retreating troops. In the end, as Manila's ruins smoldered and survivors emerged into an uncertain peace, that bottle of shampoo lingered as a symbol. It whispered of a larger truth. Freedom's fruit is not merely liberty from oppression, but the abundance born of innovation and compassion, a society where even the simplest comforts flow freely, sustaining body and spirit alike. In its suds dissolved the myth of imperial superiority, leaving only the poignant realization that true prosperity springs from democracy's open hand, not the clenched fist of conquest. And in that reflection, amid the ashes of a fallen empire, lay the enduring light of what victory could mean. Not domination, but the quiet restoration of human dignity.